Hello, everyone, and welcome to First Coast Living. I'm Casey DeSantis.
Hey, folks, I'm Curtis Dvorak, and I'm holding a newspaper.
He is. So he is just looking for the comics section because we were combing through. I don't know what front page.
How do you expect
Where
me
are
to
they?
order
I don't know
paper?
the coupons.
You don't have cartoons.
That's weird. Well, we were combing through because we found some interesting stuff to talk about.
Yes.
First of all, Hemming Park. Have you seen the new renovations?
I saw some stuff in the.
Yeah, the front page of
online
Metro section. So they just unveiled this over the weekend, and I guess there's some beautiful ponds now, and they have the mulch, and so it's a new thing. And they've really been renovating the whole place, so it looks good if you have a chance to go downtown by City Hall.
Art Walk is always a good time to go check that out. But there's a whole group, the Revitalize Downtown, and also the Hemming Park Association is like dedicated to making Hemming Park great again.
Yeah.
And like,
MAGA. We need to make Hemming Park great again. What would that be if we did that as an acronym?
But
get red hats.
Why are there no cartoons or comics anymore in the paper?
You have been combing through this for the last 10 minutes in preparation for the start of the show. I'm surprised you haven't found them yet. But
I didn't.
One thing I did notice, did you see we have a new millionaire up in Yulee? Sidney Smith, 80 of Yulee, wins $2 million. He did it in the Monopoly game, and so his picture is now in the Metro section. And then we have a color version too that you can see on.
We have Florida Lotto on all the time, telling you keep playing. People right in our area winning money. I mean, Sydney, you know, hope he doesn't have he's probably getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of people showing up at his house right now that are I got this great idea to make a bunch of money. That's what I always worry about when they put their name out.
And with the last name of Smith. I don't know. With the last name of Smith, he's like has relatives from everywhere. Smith, oh, that's my last name. We must be related, Mr. Smith.
Would you?
$2 million.
I think I know this answer.
What is this? A lump sum?
If you won the lottery, would you do the name and? Right. Yeah. Neither would I. Neither would I.
No, but I would take the lump sum. That's usually the question that my dad and I will ask each other, you know, when we, like, because you love to envision, like, oh, if we won the lottery, you know, you play that game because it's going to happen, you know. When we win the lottery, do you take the lump sum or do you do the payments?
Lump sum.
And you do the lump sum.
Can't spend the second year payment in Vegas after you spent the first year payment.
That's right. You gotta
blow it all at once.
Got to make sure you're, you know, getting the money in the bank.
Paper-wise, this is cool. Sports section. Jumbo Shrimp, our very own Jumbo Shrimp. Two of them will be playing in the Futures game at the Major League Baseball All-Star game down in Miami coming up in like a week or so.
Okay.
They're playing in the Futures game.
So what is the Futures game?
So the Futures game will happen like 2 days before the All-Star game, and in the Futures game is obviously minor leaguers. These are the future Major League Baseball players. Minor league players playing against each other, and they do a world team and a U.S. team, and we got third baseman Brian Anderson is 1 of 2, and then we have one of our relief pitchers going as well. But Brian, he has like 14 home runs. He's hitting the ball real well right now. So yeah, 2 of them. And what's funny, not funny, but the Marlins have 0 people in the All-Star game, but we got 2 Jumbo Shrimp. So technically, those are the only Marlins representatives at the All-Star game this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, not bad for Jacksonville representing. By the way, found another story that I thought you would like. This is in the Life section. Where's it in the Life section?
Cartoons.
Oh, we found the cartoon. Oh, thank heavens. Now we can keep going. Where is it? It was this article that was interesting talking about, what was it, over the weekend, and I can't even find the article.
Hydrogen-infused water?
Oh, here it is. Yep, it is here. Okay, so it was in New York, and it is called the Specialty Food Association, and what they do, they're previewing all these new foods that they think are going to hit the market and be the next greatest, biggest thing. I thought of you because a lot of these industries are going towards plant-based proteins now, and this is something that he's really been educating me a lot on, and so now they're trying to find out ways that they can package it, but even before that, something they're going to start doing is coming up with different types of waters, and how these waters are supposed to be more healthy for you, like this. This is the H-Factor hydrogen infused water pouch, and it's supposed to be for anti-inflammatory and antioxidant purposes. And then there's another one too. They say that there's this water coming out that's infused with oxygen, not the O2 kind, but it will help, they say, clear up lactic acid, and it claims to boost endurance, stamina, mental clarity, and for you, decrease hangover effects.
That's
so there you go.
Hydrogen, oxygen added to water. Water is H2O, so I don't understand how you're redoing the chemical makeup, molecular makeup of water. Adding oxygen makes it H2O2. I mean, I don't.
Whatever.
It's a chemistry thing,
it's coming out.
I took organic chemistry. Sorry, my bad. I went too cerebral.
Yeah. Bring it back in a little bit. Where are we? Okay, so this is an interesting another story that was in the paper as well today, and this has captivated a lot of people. There's a documentary coming up this weekend. You and I are both going to be watching it.
Saw the preview last night.
Yeah, the preview is incredible. So it's never before seen photo that investigators from the History Channel believe may finally reveal what happened to Amelia Earhart and her navigator. This is after their plane just disappeared in 1937. So here is a little bit more about it. Take a look.
25 years ago, the world's most famous aviatrix was missing over the Pacific.
The question tonight, does this photograph found by History Channel investigators in the National Archives prove Amelia Earhart and navigator Fred Noonan ended up in Japanese custody?
We've discovered that Amelia Earhart survived her final flight and landed safely in the Marshall Islands.
You're confident?
We are very confident.
The photograph is marked Marshall Islands Joliet Atoll in 1937 under Japanese military control. On the left, a man standing next to a sign, and there, sitting on the dock, what appears to be a woman with short hair wearing pants like Earhart. Facial recognition expert Kent Gibson overlaid the photo of the man with file photos of navigator Noonan.
The hairline is the most distinctive characteristic. It's a very sharp receding hairline. The nose is very prominent.
Gibson then compared body measurements of the seated woman with previous photos of Earhart. In both cases, striking similarities.
I usually go from not likely to very likely to extremely likely. And I'd say this is very likely.
And something else. The woman on the dock is staring at the Japanese ship Koshu, which is towing a barge with something measuring 38 feet long, the same length as Earhart's plane. For decades, locals have said the plane crashed in the Marshalls and the Japanese ship Koshu took it away. Also in the National Archives, this catalog of government files on Earhart, referencing 170 pages, including information that Earhart was a prisoner in the Marshall Islands. But that document is missing. NBC News reached out to the Japanese Foreign Ministry, Defense Ministry, and their National Archives, all of which said they have no evidence of Amelia Earhart ever in their custody.
We believe that the United States government knew Amelia Earhart was in the Marshalls and was in Japanese custody.
While not everyone is convinced, history investigators say they'll reveal more in their Sunday documentary, including evidence that Earhart and Noonan died in a Japanese prison camp in Saipan. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Isn't that fascinating? So do you think that the picture looks like her and also Fred Noonan?
A little bit, yeah. Fred Noonan, by the way, never gets much love there. He was on that flight too across the Pacific. But yeah, it looks, I want to watch the documentary, but it looks like they have a bunch of evidence for it. But, you know, obviously people are saying, well, you know, they found bones last year. They had this announcement that there was bones that matched her over in those islands. Yeah, but not in the prison. But so I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, but it all makes sense.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's a lot of now conspiracy theorists or people who claim that they have found evidence that the federal government, FDR, knew about her whereabouts, but because of the war going on, they didn't want to inflame any tension or whatever, so they didn't say anything. And then afterwards, some were speculating, if you did know about this, why didn't you say something after this? And how they came across that photo is fascinating. Just kind of going through the archives.
In the archives.
Somebody just happened to pull it up and look and see, well, that looks like Amelia Earhart.
I don't know the old school library finder, how you find the information in the archives, how much stuff is down there. But
it's still the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
Do you remember that back in the day? Is that dating us a little?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Check 1937 for everything classified. Anyway.
Good deal. Okay, we thought you would love this. Going back to fun stuff. Because have you ever seen Curtis, if you've seen him out and about in Jack's Beach especially, or around here, downtown, he's on his little motorized unicycle,
it's
as I call it.
His name's Carl.
His name's Carl. He gets on it, and it's got like little wheels, and you want to take a shot of it.
Right
so
there.
yeah, he's right there. He literally just hangs out around here. Curtis will wheel on and off the set with that thing.
He's my friend.
He is your friend. You've had a few wipeouts on him, but you're
my fault.
Fine.
All my fault, not Carl's.
Not Carl's.
Overserved. Yeah. Anyway, this is pretty cool though. Flying surfboard.
So from the ground now to the water, there is this new flying surfboard that's gaining a lot of attention, and it's a board that can reach up to 25 miles per hour, powered by an electric motor. You glide through the air, but on the water using Bluetooth technology. So it's designed, though, to allow amateurs to be able to do it, so you don't have to worry about, having good balance as if you were, learning to surf. Pre-orders, by the way, for this thing are going for $12,000 each.
Yeah, Mail Online and Twitter and Daily Mail and Facebook
that's where we got this, was
is that a
dailymail.com.
hydrofoil? It looks like, yeah, it's on a hydrofoil. So yeah, see the foil in the back. So there's a foil going down, and then it has a wing underneath the water that actually keeps the board above the water. And surfers and wakeboarders and stuff will use this in choppy water and stuff.
It looks pretty easy, though, doesn't it? I mean, these, we saw a video a second ago of a little boy on the front with an older gentleman.
No, that's sweet.
Like
I love it. Keep bringing this stuff. This is the good stuff. There's Back to the Future right there.
You remember the hoverboard? But he could. But the thing in the movie on Back to the Future 2, he couldn't push over the water. Remember? And that Biff almost got him.
Well, he didn't have a hydrofoil.
I remember that.
We mentioned the other day about Monique Burr Foundation and online safety and social media and how it can get appropriated or out of control. Well, we learned just yesterday, for example, when you date somebody and then break up and you blast them on social media. Rob Kardashian dating Black China, and that's her name she goes by. Not her real name, pretty sure. But anyway, he started blasting her on social media. He's given social media arrest. I'm sorry, Rob Kardashian did that. He should follow suit from Rory McIlroy.
Okay, yeah, Rory McIlroy is the one who's now saying no more social media because of something that happened to him.
Yeah.
Okay, but this has nothing to do with the Rob Kardashian thing. But
Rob Kardashian should follow Rory's lead.
Okay, there we go.
Because Rory is getting rid of social media because he had a little spat after former PGA Championship winner Steve Elkington tweeted, "Rory is so bored playing golf without Tiger. The threshold is probably 4 majors with $100 million in the bank." And Rory, he couldn't let it go, so he tweeted back, and everyone saw it, more like 200 million. Not bad for a bored, quote, 28-year-old. Plenty more where that came from. So he corrected Elkington. I don't have 100 million. I have 200 million in the bank.
Okay, and so because of this, now he's getting off of social media?
Well, he then got blasted by people, and what happens is, Maurice Jones-Drew, back in the day when he played here.
What the nicest guy, Mojo. He's on NFL Network, by the way. Is he still playing video games on the NFL?
Pretty much.
He gets paid to play video. So
but him and some of the other guys started during the season, and some of them got rid of their social media accounts because when you go to your account and you look at your mentions, it's just filled with hate and really vile things. Like people who have no name, they come and they say, "I hope you tear your ACL." Ooh. And even though it's just somebody saying that, players and people, positive mentality, they don't even want to see that. They don't want to let that enter their world, somebody wishing negativity on them. So he's just getting rid of his account.
I can't argue with that.
I'm close. I'm close to getting rid of my Twitter account.
Really?
Yeah, it's just Twitter's gotten so petty, and it's like a online virtual burn book from like back in the day. Like everybody just goes online and blasts people, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I go to it and I'll read like the news on it. I'll follow a lot of news organizations to get updates. But as far as as you know, I'm not. And Trent hates it because I'm not on social media as much as I should be. He always gives me grief about it.
We need you to tweet a little more.
But that's.
I know. Well, I don't know. One thing social media is good for is, like you said, catching news and big things that happen. Did you see this? This right here.
Why? No, I didn't. But thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. I am just so happy to see that is 2 home runs for Mr. Tim Tebow.
Tear it up. He's continued to tear it up down in Port St. Lucie.
Way to go, Tim.
Tebow hit his 2nd home run since joining the St. Lucie Mets. St. Lucie ended up beating the Charlotte Stone Crabs 8-4.
Now, that would be a game I'd want to go to because I wonder if they'd have stone crab as one of the entrees when you go into the park.
Well, he's batting .360 now at Port St. Lucie, so he's doing better. He's got a couple home runs so far. But yeah, and all the teams in that league are all capitalizing, trying to cash in. He's playing in Kissimmee coming up, and just real quick, he's playing in Kissimmee, and they're offering extra price tickets, and you'll get some of the dirt from the batter's box he's going to stand in. So.